All right. Hey, we're back. I threw in a little hey there. You see that? Uh, for
This
the
watermelon is
for
amazing.
the 2-year anniversary, I I have
Do you
30
have
of these,
more?
so I have to use the 2-year anniversary of the Graveyard Shift movie podcast. We're here. We're
We're
queer.
queer.
And
Oh,
we're proud. Uh, but yeah, as we took our little break, if you stay tuned to the Northman podcast, you would know we're filming this 5 minutes after watching that. Um, we took our little break, and I went and checked the previous year anniversary episode. Do you care to take a guess, Tyler, at what our views and subscribers was year one? And then we'll get into how we've progressed in the year.
subscribers was like 30 forever.
Okay.
Views, I think we probably just barely hit 50,000,
Okay. So,
or maybe it was 10,000. I don't remember.
for the first year anniversary, we were dead on 50 subscribers. And we had 22,000 views. Today, we're sitting at 316. Shout out,
Oh,
Austin, 316. And we have 118,000 views. So,
6 times the views and 6 times the subscribers.
yeah. Which, yeah, I think the second year is when we put out that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning episode, which that one blew up and ended up being our biggest episode ever.
So far.
So far, yeah. Yeah, we put it, yeah, this is, so the second year we put it out and it's sitting at 36,000 views for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. Um, but yeah, so, second year, Tyler, I think I gotta say pretty successful.
I mean, I took half of it off, but yeah,
You took half of it off.
not half, but yeah, I did.
Yeah, Maverick's been missing for the last 2 months now at this point with computer stuff. He just got the computer back. He was supposed to be there last week, but then he got like drunk or something. He wasn't there. but but uh but yeah, it's been a pretty good second year. I would have to say. Um, Today, instead, the first year we just kind of sat around and talked about some stuff about the podcast. Today we actually have something lined up, unlike the last time. Me and Tyler are gonna list our top 10 favorite horror movies of all time, because everyone likes a good top 10 list.
This isn't scariest. This isn't. This is
Yeah, it's
just
just
top
favorite.
10 films. Yeah, I didn't know
Um,
that, or I would have my list on earlier.
oh yeah, I don't know if you would have.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I figured we'd go through and we'll kind of bullshit about what each other has picked, and I'm sure we'll come across some other stuff to talk about. We'll probably look back at some of the movies we've watched for year two. But yeah, there's just kind of a little chill. I don't know how long we don't have to go very long on this one, but we'll hang
We will.
out. Yeah, we say that and it'll always wind up being long. But yeah, we'll chill out, talk about our favorite horror movies, and yeah, get into some other stuff. I guess, do we want to just kick off straight into the top 10? We'll kind of do
I
it. If
mean,
you watched our wrestling top 10, you'll know how we kind of did this, where we just went, he would do one, I'd do one.
we can. How many numbers do you have? Just 10?
I have some honorable mentions
All
that,
right.
like we did the last time, I would just list them at the beginning.
I went with 14, but I'll say my
Uh,
honorable mentions,
okay. All right, so here's Tyler's honorable mentions for his top 10 horror movies.
which means I just got to grab 4 off of this.
Okay.
But all right. And the first honorable mention was Saw. That movie was very impactful when it first came out.
Yeah. What a twist.
What a twist!
Yeah.
Sorry. Um, Another honorable mention is Aliens.
Aliens or just Alien? Or
The
just
first one.
The first one, Alien. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Um, Another one is which you haven't seen Alien. It's very suspenseful, so it's more suspense
That
and
first one's a straight up horror movie,
yeah,
and
it's
then the
pretty
other
good.
ones after that kind of, you know.
Yeah, meh off. Uh, Blair Witch is another honorable mention.
Wow, even after we watched it again, then it was kind of.
Yeah, because it really did the found footage, really
Yeah.
made it pop. So, and if you haven't seen it and you're watching it for the first time, I can see where it gets you.
Uh huh.
And then the last one for honorable mention, which was really close for number 10, but I took it out because it's only one episode of a a series.
Uh huh.
Was Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors.
Ooh, the Dream Warriors.
Freddy's always been more funny than scary after the first one.
That
So
second
it's
one, he's pretty terrifying. That's the one
yeah,
that people like to forget about, though.
and the remake gave me nightmares, but for
Well,
different reasons. So,
yeah, it's just because of how bad.
Mm.
Don't make me watch it anymore.
but that is it for my
All right.
honorable mentions.
Well, hey, my honorable mentions. Gonna kick it off with a movie that me and you both thought was amazing. But I don't think I would have put it in my top 10. It's enough for me to think about it. Also, I think we both agreed it's kind of not really a horror movie at all. But Green Room. Shout out to Green Room. Next up, we got Candyman. If you remember, I was the only one who thought that one was good, and I was like, "This movie's amazing." Both of you were kind of like, American Psycho. I've always really liked American Psycho. Uh, Taking Alien. I went with honorable mention for the first Alien versus Predator movie, where they're in like Alaska or whatever, and Predator teams up with that chick at the end or whatever. Movie's really good. And then my last two, one of which you might be surprised it's not on the actual list, Tyler, as much as I mentioned it. But Jason X is an honorable mention.
I'm surprised it's on the list at all.
And then my last honorable mention was on the list, and then I took it off.
It got bumped.
Or actually, I have two more. I'm sorry, I lied. But Freddy versus Jason, which is an amazing movie. It's great. And then my last one is the Evil Dead remake or not even remake, just like, I don't even know how you would describe it, but that one from like 2013. I don't know if you ever watched it, but it's amazing. I still think it might be better than the original 3 movies. It's pretty great. But that's my honorable mentions for my top 10 movies.
Finish my watermelon.
Finish your watermelon.
I did. I know
So,
it's done. I'm gonna mute so I blow my nose. But keep going.
So, if you watch that wrestling top 10, you'll know that me and Tyler do not share a single wrestler between us on our list. I'm interested to see if we share any movies on here. I think our chances of sharing a movie are probably better than our chances.
Yeah, 'cause I think we get exposed to this at the same time mostly.
Yeah. And keep in mind, I told Tyler, I don't know about yours. I told Tyler I literally only have one on my list that we have not watched for the podcast. So I don't know how many you have, but
Probably one, maybe two,
yeah.
3.
All right. Well, hey, let's kick it off with number.
Now, are yours in order?
Mine are
Chronology-wise?
in order. This is starting
Mine are
from
not.
number 10 to number
But
1.
if you want to, I can kind of go through and find like a 10 and do it as we go.
Well, you can look at your list and go, all right, well, I'll put this number 10. You know?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll kick us off this time.
All right.
Number 10, Tyler, is
Okay.
a movie that when young Thomas watched it, it blew his little brain. He didn't know what to think.
Man, it's not that shit movie you made us watch, is it? And then when you watch it again, you went, not that great. PHS?
No.
What was that one that you watched when you were a kid and you made us watch it again and you were like, I don't
Oh,
know
that
what
was
to do.
Triangle.
Triangle? Maybe
Yeah.
that was, yeah. Anyways.
Wasn't I was just really high when I watched it the first time.
There was one that you watched as a kid and you made us watch.
Well, I
Anyway.
watched Grave Encounters 2.
Great Encounters is that's it. That's
Yeah.
the one.
And I picked Grave, and turned out I'd never seen Grave Encounters. That movie ended up being really good, and then we watched 2, and that movie's a piece of shit. But
That was it.
but anyway, yeah, it blew my mind as a kid. As I've grown up, it's still always I enjoy watching it. It is pure fear. I'm talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. But
73 maybe. Yeah.
one of those.
We always
But
argue.
it's amazing. It yeah, it's like it's psychological in parts. The cinematography in it is great. It's the best Leatherface there ever was. Like, there's never a better Leatherface than that first one. Drayton Sawyer is amazing in it, with like very dark comedy, aspects. The Hitchhiker's there too.
That was number 10. That's like in my top 3.
Yeah, that's number 10 for me.
What a loser.
And then, like I said, when we watched that last Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or no, when we watched X, I talked about how I hate that in movies like this, now they all act cool at the end, and this movie did it right, in my opinion, where Sally is fucked up for the rest of her life until 2022, apparently, where she's a fucking ranger, and fuck that movie. But yeah, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's an amazing movie. The series as a whole, maybe not so much, but
How dare you?
But anyway, if you want to think or hear what we thought about all the rest of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, go check out the Good Boy Leatherface playlist that's listed somewhere around here. But anyway, yeah, that's my number 10, Tyler, is a classic with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, what is your number 10, or what are we kicking off your list with?
I'm gonna put number 10, and you're gonna hate this,
Okay.
but I put The Lighthouse as number 10.
Whew.
And I almost didn't put it on the list because I don't really think it's a horror film.
Yeah, we had that argument in the that podcast.
But I was like, it's a good enough film. It's horror-esque, and it's Lovecraftian, or what do they call it?
Yeah, Lovecraftian.
There's another term, I just can't remember it right now. And it really gets my goat because I love that shit.
Yeah.
But,
shout out to H.P. Lovecraft, by the way. When I tried to read all his books, I got through I don't remember which one I was on, but I was like, I ain't doing this.
It's so good.
It was like the way, because it's so old that like it was all literally, it would just be a page and there's no breaks. It's just like little tiny words. The books they were little, like I don't know. I read a lot of them, but I couldn't get through them all. I think I got to one where it was like a collection of his stories, and I was like, I can't. Yeah.
But
I read a couple.
I still can't remember the name of it. It's not Lovecraftian. It's something. There's another word. But anyways, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I mean,
it's not going to keep you up at night. You're not going to be like, oh my god, or nothing like that. It's not scary at all.
The bird, though.
Just don't kill birds. Easy enough.
Yeah. I always forget that movie too. There's that scene where spoiler. There's probably gonna be spoilers
spoil everything in this movie.
So when we start talking about a movie, just if you haven't seen it and you don't want to, just kind of skip till we're talking about a different movie.
I'm gonna put time notes in this so you'll know when it. No, he won't.
There's that part I always forget about where when Robert Pattinson is telling him that his name isn't really whatever his fucking name was, and that he's really this guy or whatever. And then he looks over and Willem Dafoe's gone, and then it just pans across the cabin, and it's just Willem Dafoe going, "Why'd you spill your beans?" It's great. It's really haunting like that. I forget about it every time, and then when I watch it, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this." So,
but yeah, that's my number 10.
Number 10. All right. Number 9 for me, Tyler, is the only movie on the list we have not covered.
Oh.
So we're getting it out of the way here. From now on, every other movie we've watched. But number 9 for me is another classic. Number 9 is Creepshow from fucking the
Stephen King?
80s. Yeah, Stephen King, and directed by George Romero, I believe. Like, it was a team up with them. Yeah, but Stephen King, I want to say, wrote the majority of it, and he was in it. He plays fucking John the Farmer or something. I don't remember this guy's name, but yeah, the asteroid lands and he touches it and starts turning into grass and all this shit. But that movie, I still enjoy it to this day. There is one. There's one that has what's the guy's name from Naked Gun?
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie, yeah. He's in one where he plays like a bad guy or whatever. And as a kid, that one creeped me out the most because, spoilers, he like buries these two people and waits for the beach to come up and drown them and all this shit. And then they come back as zombies and stuff. And as a kid, now that's the only one in there that I'm really kind of like, all right, you know, it just because they already do a zombie in the first thing of the movie with the, you know, I want my cake and stuff. But that movie's great. It's really creepy. Yeah. It also, if you don't like cockroaches, there's one specific portion in there that is made just for you about not liking cockroaches. And there's like, it goes into this crazy cartoon animation because it looks like the comics that these are based on and stuff. And yeah, it's just really good. Creepshow's all. I got this really weird. The DVD of it, like the box is really cool on it. But always love Creepshow. We need to cover it. I don't know why I haven't picked it yet, but I haven't. Yeah. Also, maybe
it's a mix of stories. Too,
yeah,
right?
the anthology movies are kind of hard to cover. We've done a couple. We did Dark Tapes. I did that first VHS movie. There's another one we're missing. Me and Maverick did Trick or Treat for a Halloween episode. Trick or Treat was a little easier because it was just taking place around the town. But I don't know. I want me and you to watch the rest of those VHS movies because they're, you know,
Nice.
they're all right. But yeah, these anthology movies are kind of hard to talk about sometimes. Just how you go through them. But one day I'll pick it. And yeah, but it's really good. Creepshow number 9. Tyler, what's next for you?
I am going to put The Cabin in the Woods. Is number
Oh,
9.
yeah.
It was a great mixture of everything. It
Comedy,
was
horror,
comedy, but it was all the horror genres, right? Like they had all the scary stuff in it.
yeah.
It was kind of like that thing where you watch it and go, I know that, you know? So,
Yeah.
a great movie, all-star cast. Yeah.
Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect it to be a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think we watched. Yeah, we watched
Fucking
it.
yeah, real young Thor is in it. Right before he becomes Thor, and now like there's no way a movie like Cabin in the Woods would have been able to get him in that movie.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. Fucking the dad from Step Brothers is in it, and the bad guy from Billy Madison, and they're great in it as the the operators or whatever. And the one guy's obsessed with the merman. He's like, I just want to see the fucking merman. Yeah, it's really good. All right.
But yeah, I mean, I know I'm not going into like these are like widely viewed movies, so
Yeah.
like these aren't like random things you haven't seen. Now, when I get to Valerie and like Beyond the Rainbow,
Uh-huh.
I'll explain those more. But
Yeah.
these are
Once again, spoilers, but it has that great death of Thor where he's like making the jump and then he hits the like force field and he's tumbling down it. Yeah. It's a good movie.
good stuff.
All right, well, number 8 for me is one that I think you and Maverick were disturbed at how much I liked it when we watched it, and how much of it I found funny and like dark comedy to it, and you guys were like, I don't think so. But my number 8 is Wes Craven's The Last House on the Left. That movie's amazing. It is very dark I can't talk. It's very comedic for not the right purposes. Like there's the points where they have like the sacks over their heads and they're like running them into their van and it's playing like this wacky carnival music. There's that point where that one dumb guy in the group, he's like, I got a girlfriend at home. And the girl's like, I don't think you do. And he goes, yeah, well, you're right. And like, it's just, there's so many moments in that movie that I swear are meant to be funny in a dark way. But then in an instant, it'll turn into them like brutally raping that lady and these crazy sound effects that legitimately is kind of hard to watch. Yeah. And then there's that great scene of the mom turning into a ninja and running and slicing that lady's throat in the pool. And the dad coming up the basement with the chainsaw on the... God, such a fucking good movie. I know they like remade it. I don't remember who's in the remake, but it was in that time where they were like just remaking every horror movie from the past. And so it had like a remake in 2009. We should watch it one day to see if I like it at all. I think if I remember, maybe like Wes Craven's son wrote it. I know there's
Ed Craven?
Yeah. I know there's some movie we watch where like a guy's son helped make it. But I can't remember what it was.
It was Clive Barker.
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't like a Joe Hill movie.
You know me, I kill off everybody. So like in my mind, I'm trying to think of who's dead and who isn't dead.
But anyway, The Last House on the Left, Tyler. It's pretty great.
I don't know. I mean, it was a great movie. It was good. But
I remember advocated it. He gave it like a 2 or something.
Well, that's it. Anyways.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your
No
number
comment
8?
on that guy. My number 8 is from the 80s.
Ooh.
Probably one of the first horror movies I watched.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, but I'm just assuming. The Thing is my number 8.
Oh.
I really like that movie.
Yeah. Little Carpenter action.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my favorite John Carpenter movie.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's probably my favorite Cronenberg film for sure.
It's
not a Cronenberg. Anyway.
God, what was that episode we did where I think it was at the end we started talking about Nightbreed, and I started saying how it was a David or Cronenberg movie, and we were talking about Cronenberg and how I didn't like Cronenberg and all this shit. And then I realized afterwards that I was a fucking dummy, and it's a Clive Barker movie, but David Cronenberg was like the bad guy in the movie. And yeah, and I felt like I messaged you and I was like, I'm a big dummy. I was talking about Cronenberg and Barker, and I think you were like, no one fucking knows. Like I was so mad at myself.
I was like, why are you calling me?
Yeah.
I don't think you called me. It was a message on Discord, but I was like, who is this? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why it's my joke. But,
yeah. Yeah, you really flummoxed me. All right. Moving right on to number 7. My number 7, Tyler, is The Cabin in the Woods. So
really?
Yeah, that movie's amazing. It's really good. It's really funny where it should be funny, and it turns violent where it should be violent. It's pretty solid. I like the whole. I don't remember if you were a little iffy on it, but I like the whole the whole thing about how they're doing this for the good of the world, and how there's the ancients who will wake up if they're not offered their sacrifice. The fucking scene of the little Asian kids like turning the ghost into a koi fish or something, and then the guy's like, fuck you. It's a really good movie.
The only problem I have with that movie is the stoner guy, because he should have been killed.
Yeah,
and then he was. That was the only thing I remember that I had an issue with.
Yeah, I think me and you both were kind of like, when how he comes back, and yeah, But what can you do? Tyler, what's your number 7, buddy?
My number 7, I let peer pressure
Okay.
make me lower this on my list.
All right.
Um, uh, I really love this movie. It might
Uh,
be because kids, but
okay.
I'm A Quiet Place is number 7.
Oh, the phone's ringing.
Cronenberg is like
Let's,
talking
yeah.
shit. Get
Let's,
it?
yeah, Quiet Place. Really good. I do know that second time we watched it, you like gave it a real low score.
Yeah, the first time I watched it though, it was like fucking
Uh-huh.
heartbreaking. So
Yeah, I can't remember if it made me cry the first time. I imagine I probably got close. I don't remember like.
I was bawling the whole, anyways, not the whole
Yeah,
time.
we did.
But
There is a couple flaws in the logic of how they're fighting these things and what the things can and can't hear, and yeah, that whole thing with them where they're like hiding behind the waterfall and they're like it's quiet or it's loud out there, so and it was like why wouldn't the thing be attracted to the waterfall, and like it's, did you watch the second one?
no, not yet.
I haven't watched it either. We need to watch it. I know they have a third one already getting ready, so but we should. But yeah, that first one's real good. Um, all right, well, number 6 for me, Tyler, is Hereditary. This this movie legitimately,
Surprised you like that a lot.
yeah, this movie legitimately like spooked me when I watched it. It's really great. The whole, I mean, if anyone here doesn't know Hereditary, what happens in the car, and just hit that kid driving home, and just the mom and and I thought everybody in that movie did a real good job acting. The whole,
The dad.
well, the dad was just the saddest character because he was, yeah, and the whole dinner scene where eventually the mom's like blaming no one wants to own up to their actions, and the kid's like, well, what about you, mom? Why was she at that party and stuff? It's yeah, that movie's really good. It's a shame that guy never made another movie. But
It, but
anyways, Tyler, number 6.
number 6 is a movie we have yet to watch.
Oh,
It's an adaptation of a Stephen King short story.
okay.
And it's
Oh,
called The Mist.
oh yeah.
I love that fucking movie. It's very rare that I watch a movie and at the end I'm like, holy fuck. And
Yeah.
then that one got
Yeah,
me.
that's definitely a one that if that one doesn't get you, I don't imagine what else. I think I've told you this, but there's a movie that I'm pretty sure came out after The Mist because I think it tried to just steal what The Mist did, where it's these people like hiking in the Grand Canyon, and the guy like breaks his leg and they're stuck down there, and like their traveler dude, like the guy showing them around, like either got killed somehow or did something, and she like tries calling for help and no one's coming, and so then like the final night she's like hearing like coyotes or whatever coming down, they're gonna eat, so she smothers her husband with her hand, and then right after that the rescue helicopter shows up and saves her, and so I'm pretty sure like they saw The Mist and were like, we need to do something like that. But I could be wrong, and that movie could have came out first. I have not watched The Mist in years.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, like everyone, I think we talked about it on some other thing, but everyone talks about the ending. But from what I remember, the rest of that movie was pretty good too. But that ending, really, like you leave watching that movie, like, Jesus Christ, that is not a feel good movie.
Made me feel good.
Yeah.
I haven't
Also,
shot my kid yet.
Jesus. Um, also, I don't remember if the guy who directed it had anything to do with The Walking Dead, but like half the cast is in that original lineup of The Walking Dead. Like Carol's there, Dale is there. Maybe it's just them. Andrea is there. She plays the dude's wife or whatever. Or is it not? Yeah, that's his wife, right? That he shoots in the car.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know there's the wife's dead, right? Don't they go to try
Yeah.
to get her? Yeah, whoever that lady was, and I think there might have been another one or whatever. But a lot of people from The Walking Dead involved in that movie, and only
Hey,
one of them is left around. Number 5.
oh, wait. Would you say Hereditary is the first elevated horror movie that you watched?
Fuck you.
Well, I'm just curious. Do you consider that an elevated horror? Like, because it kind of is.
Yeah.
If you don't pay attention, you're not.
I'm pretty sure that lady from Scream. That's what, like the first movie she lists.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like Hereditary or The Babadook.
I don't know about the Babadook, but anyways, it did not make my list. Spoiler.
I don't know. I mean, shit. Yeah. Anyway, number 5, Tyler.
You want me to go, or you?
No, I was taking a little, anticipation. Number 5 is The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse. I mean, I think if you've watched any of our videos at this point, you probably. I mean, even this Tyler had it on his list. And like, no, what was it? Number 10?
Yeah, number 10. Just because it's not really a horror, but yeah.
No, but number 5, The Lighthouse. Yeah, it's amazing. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You'll probably hate it. Everyone seems to, but it's pretty good. I forgot to mention in The Northman how because the whole Robert Pattinson at the end is making Willem Dafoe walk like a dog at the end, and then Willem Dafoe has them acting like dogs, and I kind of thought it was, but yeah, that's good. Lighthouse, it's a great movie.
It's weird because when we come across one we've already talked about, it's like, should I keep going or?
Yeah.
So it's always like, all right, my number 5.
Number 5, halfway through the list, Tyler.
Is a movie. I'm pretty sure I made us watch it.
Okay.
Pretty sure I picked it. I'm pretty sure everyone loved it. Maybe not. But 28 Days Later. Just because all the zombie shit in the world, and it's probably my favorite out of all of it. I mean, some people pick like bullshit like Night of the Living Dead and stuff like that, but 28 Days Later is the first scary zombie movie. Show, whatever you want to call it. Well, it's a movie, but piece in that genre that really did it for me.
The weirdest thing about 28 Days Later is you almost can't call them zombies. Like, do they ever eat anybody in that thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember they beat people to death.
Yeah, they eat them all the time, man.
Yeah.
They, like, tear them down. Like, oh.
I like 28 Weeks Later better.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think,
I thought when we went into it, it was a good movie, but I thought it really showed its age when we watched it. I remember saying that.
The problem is we're just fucking overrun, ironically, with zombie movies.
Yeah,
so
but
like,
I mean, 28 Days though, just off the top, it had that crazy scene of him in the in that kitchen area, and the zombies come busting through the top and like attack him. Him in the church where he's like, "Hello," that little kid running behind him and shit. That weird zombie guard who is outside the window and busts in and shit.
It's amazing.
There's a lot of cool stuff in that. The blood dropping in that dude's eyeball.
And the music, the score or whatever.
That music is one of the best.
At the end, it's like, wow, wow. And the guy's like lowering himself from the ceiling, like super quiet.
Yeah, they bring it back again in 28 Weeks when the dude's running away in the field at the end or whatever, and all the zombies are chasing him and they have it bumping.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 5 pick, 28 Days Later.
Well, number 4, Tyler, I Am Home, because it's Event Horizon, one of the best movies of all time, not only horror. This motherfucker flying.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
Mags ruined that movie for me.
Why? Just because of Liberate?
No. Because when he goes, "We are home," and he goes into the shadow, and he's like, If you were him, wouldn't you just turn around like, what? What is
Yeah.
that? What was that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And from that on, it's just that's all I can think of. It's just like this
uh,
chapter. So,
yeah, that movie's
it ruined it, but you know.
yeah, that movie's great. Uh, it's pretty good. Funny enough, I sent you the other day that Dead Meat channel. They had like Orange Cassidy and a couple of AEW people on there, and they were talking about Event Horizon. And they were like, no one talks about it. They're like, it's so good. Why doesn't anyone talk about it? And yeah, it's I don't know. You need to watch it, everybody. It's weird because it's heavily inspired by Clive Barker stuff, uh, and Clive Barker, I think, might even help them make it in some way, like gave them advice. And I haven't liked anything Clive Barker we've watched, but I love that movie. So I don't know what that means, but yeah, it's great. It really I think I told you how like the direct Paul W.S. Anderson is it Paul W.S.? Yeah. The Resident Evil guy and Mortal Kombat dude. And he like sold it as like The Shining in space. And it's great. I love the fact that when they see that like demon orgy where they're raping everyone, it ends and there is no like what was that or anything. It ends and Lawrence Fishburne immediately goes, "We're leaving." Like it's yeah, like it's just it's so good. I love Event Horizon. So there you go. And of course, we don't even need to talk about Liberate Tutume X. But anyway, Tyler, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is probably a movie that I'm most known for plugging.
Oh, yeah.
And telling everyone to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Has Nicolas Cage in it.
Yeah.
And that would be Mandy. I love that movie. The visuals, like,
I
don't even know if you consider that a horror or elevated horror. Like either one, it's kind of but anyways, it's really good. You can't describe the visual aspects and how they shot it and all the weird shit, but I don't know. It's one of those movies that if you tell a girl you're artful and you're not, just put that on when she comes over here, and she'll be like, "Oh,
yeah,
you're a weirdo. Get out of my house."
And and it gets to like the dude taking off his robe with his dick out, and the chick's laughing at him, and she's like, "What's going on?
Yeah.
Is this what's gonna happen to us later?"
Yeah, skip that part.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know you've always. I remember when it came out and you saw it. You came to work. You were like,
"That's kind of why this podcast happened, right?" Like,
a little bit. Yeah.
It was that Event Horizon, and I don't know. We all talked about the movies all the time at work, and then
you're like, "You need to fucking watch this." And then Bags watched it first, and then I watched it afterwards, and yeah.
I don't think neither one of them liked it, but it's okay.
I remember really liking the second half because that movie is sort of a movie of two halves. There's the first half, and then there's the second half that's like batshit crazy. And then we watched it the second time, and I was like, man, I'm not even sure if I really like the second half that much. It's got some cool shit in there, but I don't know. Like I like. Funny enough, I really like Color Out of Space, which kind of gives off a Mandy-esque feel, and Tyler didn't like it at all, but.
That's another. It's weird because it's another Lovecraft.
Yeah.
A Lovecraftian tale or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I just think Nicolas Cage is the wrong role for that. But anyway.
Wow. Who else could have done the fucking?
I forgot the part where he goes, "You know what? No. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going," or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll do you a favor, Felicia. I'll leave. So just stay here, okay?" Like, yeah, and they're not llamas, they're alpacas. It's good. There is that weird thing in that movie though where they keep calling that youngest son baby, and we were kind of like, "That's weird." Oh, funny enough, that the blonde chick from Event Horizon who lives is the wife in that movie. She definitely turns out good in that one too. So.
All right, top 3 times.
Top 3.
Did we get more confetti, more poppers?
Sure. I got plenty.
Wasn't ready yet. Wasn't ready at all. You gotta shoot it at the camera.
Oh well.
Well, that one wasn't bad. It just came out like
Yeah.
I came on your mom's back.
Was that Maverick? Um. All right. Top three.
What's that, Maverick? That's such a good line.
Yeah.
I mean, you get it. No one else probably would.
Yeah. Um.
I thought it was worth it though.
Yeah.
Good one.
Thanks.
Nobody laughed.
Yeah. Nobody laughed. That's the. Number three, Tyler.
Number three.
Taking it back to the 80s,
Top
like
three.
Limp Bizkit wanted to.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Nookie.
Yeah.
Behind Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
You keep saying it anyway.
Yeah. Number three
Rolling.
is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Listen.
What's up?
You can't keep copying my answer.
I'm you.
It's a real good movie.
It's amazing. It's great. I will say that movie had an aspect that the Northman kind of suffered from, where I think I might have given that movie a 9.5 too, The Thing, where really good. And then there's like that last 10 minutes where they're kind of just roaming around, like starting to light like bombs or some shit, and they're underground, and it's drags on a bit. But everything up to that point, it's just, I mean, it's creepy. The whole them going to the Russian base and trying to figure out what's going. And there's all these like frozen blood sickles, and I mean, that scene of them catching the thing in that dude's body and him looking up at them and do it like that alone. Is just, yeah, it's so good. The practical effects in that movie, the stomach opening up and biting the hands off, the blood test that they do, and it's great. Obviously, it might not be as good as the Faculty's blood. That's still one of my favorite clips that I don't know of it. I think it might be a short. But Bags talking about, when they did that test with snorting the scat and it shows her closing up her nose, she didn't really do that. Or it's either closing up or like emptying it out the other side. Yeah. He's like, he didn't really do that. And you're like, well, did you go back and watch? And there's like a second pause and he goes, no. It's so good. And yeah. But The Thing is amazing. I haven't watched that one that is like, people thought was a remake, but it turns out to be like kind of a prequel. I don't think I've watched that one. And recently we heard John Carpenter was thinking about maybe making a sequel to The Thing, which I don't know what the fuck he would do. But Thing, it's awesome. Go watch it if you haven't. It lives up to the hype. I think at this point The Thing is pretty much a known that's a great movie.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. All right. What's your top three, Tyler? Breaking in.
Oh, this is how I'm trying to figure out how to say this.
Okay.
So, this movie is my number one movie, but it's only the first one, and the rest of them are okay. But it's gonna be Texas Chainsaw.
Okay.
I want to put it at number one, but I just can't because the other two are just better in the long run.
Uh-huh.
Which my other two are.
Are the other two Texas Chainsaw 2?
And then 3. Yeah. No. I mean, one of them's Halloween 3.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, it's the original Chainsaw. It's great. It has everything. There's no like mysticism or something. It shows the true evil of man and what we're capable of, and it's just so good.
Yeah,
it's 50 years old and it still holds up, and it's not gory. It's just fear.
Yeah, one of the best scares in a movie ever too, with the "Hold on, Sally, I hear something," and then pan just Leatherface right there. It's so good.
It's really decent, especially for how old it is and such.
Yeah.
So hold on.
Okay.
So that was my third pick, Texas Chainsaw, the original,
right.
1973. Thomas said 74. I'm not sure, but we'll say both just so
Yeah.
one of us is right, and it's going to be 72.
It's going to turn out at 75 or something. Yeah.
So We each have 2 movies left.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm going to guess that one of yours is going to be Halloween something.
Okay.
And I'm going to guess the other one's going to be a Friday the 13th something.
All right.
Those are just my guesses.
Okay.
I don't think we've watched a Friday the 13th on podcast
We
yet.
haven't. I don't know how we haven't, but we haven't.
One of mine is also one we haven't watched yet.
Ooh.
So keep that in mind. All right. Now go from there, I guess.
All right.
So what is your number 2
so
pick?
my
Runner-up.
my
Almost
number
amazing.
2 runner-up. This is the movie that I said Tyler was going to shit on, and me and him were going to argue. One, because I think he always says this isn't a horror movie, but it totally is. Totally, it's scary, and there's parts in it that it's pure horror, but it's a horror comedy.
Oh, God.
You know what it is.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead is an amazing movie. 10 out of 10. Never gets boring. It's never not funny. It's never like the scares in it are great. It's a great movie. One of the best zombie movies ever made. And it was made by 3 drunk British dudes on, I assume, a minuscule budget.
I only have one comment I'm going to say.
Go ahead. Does it kill yourself?
No, not like that. And I'm going to stand up for all the people who don't like this movie.
Okay.
And, and they have to sit there and have people try to shove it down their throat all the time.
Uh-huh.
It's okay, guys, not to like stuff that other people like. It's all right to have a differing opinion on films. This one didn't do it for me. I thought it was cheesy. I'm not a big fan of the whole Simon Pegg universe or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like Hot Fuzz and all that. It's not my cup of tea. I'll take a cup of coffee. Thanks. Go fuck yourself.
Well, see, that's the nicest you've ever put it. You're giving the fans. Usually you're like, that shittiest fucking movie I've ever. You're like, go fuck yourself.
I realize once I shit on it, and I can, and have, and will.
Mm-hmm.
But once I shit on it, then I'm no better than the assholes trying to push this movie on me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, it's like opposing views, right? Like, once you stop fighting so violently and you just go, okay, hey, it's not for me, then everything kind of just falls away because people keep talking. And you're like, yeah, I know, but it's just not for me. And it goes to a different place.
Funny enough, like we have the is it horror or not? A lot of people say that Hot Fuzz is horror, and that's one that I'm adamantly like, no. And I get it's kind of like a mystery slasher type thing going on.
So you don't think Hot Fuzz is horror? Do you think? What's the one with the straw man where you burn them? We watched it. We watched the old version. Gentle Johnny.
Wicker Man?
Yeah. Do you think Wicker Man's horror? Because it's kind of the same thing, same movie. It's just a big conspiracy of people doing, Yeah,
well, I mean, I think I don't know.
Pretty much the same tale, almost like The Faculty, right? But a little different.
Faculty is, after watching The Thing, The Faculty is kind of just a thing,
You can watch Body Snatchers and all the other things. There's a lot of movies like that, but...
Yeah. What was... God, there was something after I watched The Thing where I was like, man, this one other movie really took a lot from this movie. And I can't remember what it was, but I don't know. But anyway, Shaun of the Dead, I really like it. It has a great part where fucking Sean goes to check to turn on the power to the TV or whatever, and he flips the wrong breaker. And there's the window outside where the light goes on and all the zombies are there. Scared the shit out of me. So, it's pretty good. Also, Don't Stop Me Now, the pool thing. And the dart in the head. Can't go wrong. So that's number 2 for me, Tyler. What's number 2 for you? You like that?
So, I haven't watched this yet.
Okay.
It's unseen by us.
All right, I'm excited.
And it's a universe. It's a whole collection.
Oh, fuck.
Would you take a guess? You only get one.
Paranormal Activity.
That's it.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity. The first time I watched the first one of that, I was so scared I couldn't finish the movie.
Yeah.
No, I finished the first one.
Uh-huh.
The first one I finished. The second one, when the dog gets grabbed, I was like, nope. And I turned it off, and I never went back.
Damn.
Now, we're going to do an overtime with all these probably,
Yeah,
or I don't know,
probably.
maybe made podcast, but and I want to do it because I feel like I quit and
Yeah,
I
you gotta
want to finish
conquer
what I
it.
started. Yeah, but a bit of me is like, fuck,
Yeah.
like because it is.
There's, I don't
It's
remember
scary.
which one it was, but I went to the theater. My dad took me and my mom, and we went. And they have a thing where I guess the Xbox Connect had just come out. So they had a thing where they set up a Connect to like track these ghosts, and they have a scene where like the kids are running around the circle, and it's like two kids, and then it comes around, and the kids chasing them, and then you see it, and then the Connect thing goes off, and you realize that the one kid behind them is a ghost, like it's not the kid who, and then like the brother comes around the corner afterwards, and it was crazy because it took people a second to realize what just happened, and then they were like, "Holy shit, that was a it was, yeah."
You just ruined stuff, man. Yeah,
Sorry.
you're spoiling me. I can't not watch now. I gotta. There's no way for me to skip that spoiler. But
Yeah. I just imagine
but it
we
is
get
a
to,
little. What's the word when you say something before you know? Presumptuous.
yeah.
Me to put Paranormal Activity of the Universe at number 2
Uh huh.
when I haven't seen 3 of the films.
I think
But 1 and 2 were so good that I think it covers it.
I think they're supposed to be all right. I know there's one that's supposedly just a piece of shit, and then I don't know what people thought about that newest one that just came out.
I mean, we all have seasons of the witch, right? Sometimes we get seasoned.
A lot of people
So
really like that movie. Doesn't that people can like what they like?
yeah, I mean, I liked it. It wasn't bad. It just nothing to do with Myers. But
Well, yeah. All right, and
oh,
so at
number 1.
last we have made it to number one, and to Tyler and anyone who's been watching for a while, my number one really shouldn't be any surprise. But 1985's Return of the Living Dead is the best horror movie ever made. I do feel kind of weird putting two zombie comedy type movies back to back. But what can I say? They're both amazing. Fucking Tarman, the, the guys who they're like, you don't have no pulse. I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? And they're just fucking what? His name's like Ed or Pete, and he's just screaming the whole time because he's getting like he's dying, and so he's getting like the stiffness in his bones and shit. And yeah, and spoiler, they nuke the place at the end. It's a great movie. That
I'll
lady
point
strips
something out.
naked in the cemetery.
Yeah, it was her birthday yesterday. I saw a thing on Twitter where I was like, "Hey, shout
Lena
out to
Quigley or whatever.
yeah."
Yeah.
I don't know her name. I just remember
Yeah.
the titty.
And then that one guy had to come out of nowhere in the comments and comment that the guy who played like Scuzz or whatever was a charged molested children or something. And it was like, oh, I didn't really need to tarnish the.
What's that saying? Don't live long enough for your heroes to become
Yeah.
monsters.
I was like, not Scuzz. Yeah.
You should have seen it coming. All right, my number 1 is going to be weird,
Okay.
and I feel really bad for picking it as my number 1
All right.
because I've only seen one of them, and we watched it on the podcast.
Oh my God. You're picking The Conjuring.
Yep, the whole universe.
The whole universe. Oh no,
Think
I
about
ain't
it.
behind that.
It has everything great horror needs. It has jump scares. It has build up. It has twist endings.
That first one,
What did we watch? We watched,
The Conjuring.
and what was the other one we watched? I was in the same Insidious,
That's not in the same universe.
but it's the same people.
It's based, yeah, but
Yeah, so it's like they're both so good. Like I don't want to like them because all the hefty chicks are like, great, but
God damn.
yeah, well, it's true, right? Like if you, let's be honest, all us horror fans, we're a little snobby about stuff we like, even if it is a shit movie about British zombies. But like we all have these things that we pick up on, and we want to be like, my stuff's good, my stuff. And whenever a mainstream movie comes out of a horror film that's really good, like look at what's Jordan Peele's first movie?
Get
Us?
Out.
Get Out. Like, billion people loved it, billion people hated it. it's an okay movie for what it is. I thought you could tell what was going to happen.
I,
Nothing really shocked me,
I really liked it.
and I didn't remember because I was like,
Yeah.
I've seen it. This is normal. This is an
To be
episode of
fair, though, I
Us
mean,
of Us, but
yeah. To be fair, though, that movie there literally is no like twist. If you watch the trailer where it's like, oh, they're, I think in the trailer they're like, we're stealing the bodies of these people,
well, no, the
or
twist
the.
is the fact that daughter was in on it.
Yeah, I guess that's a twist.
But yeah, but it's like with new horror, people are either gonna love it or they're gonna hate it,
Yeah.
and it's very polarizing to which one you go for. And The Conjuring, I hate the fact that I love those fucking the Conjuring movie because so many people like it, and I'm like, it's
It's
but
good.
it's
Like, my favorite part is like, even though they were going through all this shit, there was such a cozy feeling where like everyone was like in the living room, like setting hunting ghosts and shit. I really like that first movie. That second one, ugh.
I don't know. Did we watch the second one?
No, I've watched the second one. I've only watched two, and that's not true. I watched the Conjuring 2, and then I watched Annabelle, I want to say. And I think that's the only three I've watched. I never watched The Nun, um, and whatever other ones they did. I think Lala Norna might be part of that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I never, because one of those, yeah, I think The Nun is chronologically in the first spot, and then Lala Norna is like after it or something like that. But the second one went into whole. They had like a Wicker Man thing, and it looked really cheap and bad. Like the first one, the ghosts and everything looked really good, but this was like I don't know. But
Yeah,
that first one, really good.
yeah, and I mean, and like I said, it's kind of a quantity over quality thing.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I get Conjuring and Insidious mixed in my mind just because the actor, the main dude,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name. I want to say
Patrick
Jason
Wilson.
Bateman, but that's not it. Patrick Wilson, that's it. He was also in the amazing movie Aquaman, which if y'all hadn't seen, it's one of the best movies I've ever watched.
Funny enough, when I was looking up Nicole Kidman, she's in Aquaman. I was like, I was
She
gonna
is.
say
It's
she's in
small.
your favorite movie.
Yeah, it's small. Oh, don't even get me started. Anyway, but
Uh,
yeah, really good stuff.
I don't know what we need to watch through them.
We
We
need
have
to
so
watch through
much.
those. We have to watch through Paranormal Activity. We
There's
haven't watched a single Saw movie.
Insidious. Yeah, so like we just said, we got all the Friday 13th. We got the Nightmare movies.
We
And
got
then, of
plenty of
course,
content coming, guys.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Plenty of
Yeah,
stuff through.
So there you go. As of right now, that's where our top 10 stands. I did when I was listing it. The thing is because my top 10 didn't have any like Jason or whatever on it, and it really like I like those movies because how stupid and just. But like movie wise, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, none of the Friday 13th are like, man, this movie blew me away. So I really tried to think of like movies that are like genuinely good movies, even though what is it like you have to have a good time with them too, but I tried to think of like ones that were really good. So yeah, I didn't have any Jasons I could put on there. The closest I came was I had Freddy versus Jason on there. And I think I even had it at like number 9. I didn't even have it at number 10. And I was looking at it and I was like, I really like that movie, but it's kind of just because it's such a dumb, stupid concept thing. But couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah. But anyway, there you go. That's our top 10, guys. So now I guess we could try before we wrap up here. I think we're almost done. The second year. Do you remember where I told you the second year started? 'Cause I don't remember.
I don't remember. Once you told me it wasn't a list based on what we've seen that year, like it immediately left my brain.
Yeah. So let's see. The first episode of the new year was They Live. So, I guess if you want to pull up the YouTube page and look at from They Live, Do we want to go through and pick out what's been the best movie of the second year and the worst movie? Because, we like talking about the worst. I mean, the worst for me is pretty easy. I can give you the worst right now. The worst movie of the second year by far was Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. That movie is a real stinky piece of dog poo. To the point that...
The hardest time finding our channel.
Yeah. Well, it should just be in your subs.
It is, but I have 384 subs.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, that movie, I think it ended up being our longest podcast that we ever did, which is funny. But, I mean, we got halfway through it, and me and you were just exhausted from talking about it again. It's
one word, or it's 2 words. Isn't Graveyard 2 words or something stupid like that?
No, Graveyard's 1. And then space in between shift, though.
Well, yeah, but...
Yeah.
It's not coming up. I don't know why.
Oh, damn it.
I'm looking. Hold on. Let me go through. I probably need to get rid of a lot of this stuff.
It sounds like it.
I don't even know what half these channels are. Trust Me, I'm Thomas. Is that it?
No. There, I sent it to you. I just had to send them the fucking link.
Probably could have went through and looked at our latest movie that came out because it was like 2 days ago. I'm subscribed. All right. So what was the last movie?
I was saying Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was the worst movie of the second year.
Where did it start?
They Live is where it starts. That's where the second year starts.
What's the budget episode?
The budget episode's the one where I film it like on my phone. And what is the movie? It's like it has that kid with the hatchet on the cover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie.
So you don't put the title of the movie in a lot of these.
No, it's in there. It's just long titles.
Oh, They Live. That's the Roddy Piper movie.
Yeah.
So I'll just look for Roddy.
Well, he's not on the cover, but
yeah, it's the. Yeah. I had to think of the movie first.
Yeah.
So the first real movie, because that was before that, and then we have the 1 year podcast. So the first real one was Soul Station.
God damn, you skipped over 5 movies.
No.
There was They Live, Army of the Dead.
No, you're looking at it wrong. It goes left to right, homie.
Oh, I'm looking at the book.
Oh.
I was just looking at the scores we gave some of these.
Because I see They Live at 11 months ago, and then the anniversary is 11 months ago. Oh, you're right. You're wrong. I'm wrong. You're right.
Yeah. Army of the Dead, Snakes on a Plane. Oh, how could you forget? Snakes on a Plane.
And
Jezebel.
What movie is this? Army of the Dead, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Jezebel.
it. That movie always feels like we watched it so recently ago, but it's almost a year old, Army of the Dead.
Yeah, it was one of the new ones. Matt picked it, so it had to be a new one.
Oh, boy. I gotta tell you, I know I just said Abraham Lincoln was the worst movie of number 2, but I am looking, and I did give a movie a 1 this year, so I gave it a less point than Abraham Lincoln. Do you care to guess at what I gave a 1?
I have to look, because we got all these shorts and stuff in there. It wasn't American Werewolf, because I know you love that.
You might just want to go to the Graveyard Shift playlist, where it's just all so you don't see well, then you wouldn't see the overtimes and stuff, so that doesn't.
Goddamn.
Sorry.
And now you got me clicked off.
Also, I love it because I gave it a 1, Maverick gave it no score, and then you gave it an 8.
Was it Rubber? No.
No, you weren't there for that one.
I'm looking. I don't... Because some of these I wasn't there for, so I'm like, we had to watch that.
Yeah, you were there for this one.
Again, what is All Aboard? What is this movie?
All Aboard? Oh, that's Christopher Lee or whatever. That's like they were on a train and there was like a mummy. Oh, that's the movie! Tyler, god damn it, you're great! That's the movie that I was saying The Thing took a lot from. was that movie. There was a lot of shit in there then the Thing did afterwards. And like I said, I was like, I think it's based on stories and stuff, but that is of like a very early version of the Thing, kind of, but not really, but kind of.
I can't tell what you gave a 1. Was it the animated Perfect Blue?
It was not. What did I
Oh,
give Perfect Blue though? I didn't like that one. Perfect Blue, I gave it a 3. Oh, you gave that one a 1.
it's hard because I got to think like you.
Whew, can I be honest, Tyler? So I gave Abraham Lincoln a 2, okay?
Yeah.
This movie that you haven't found yet, I gave it a 1. I just came across a .5, Tyler.
All right. Well, what's the .5?
And Megan is missing.
Really? I thought you loved that movie.
No, you gave it a 0. Megan
Yeah,
is
I thought you
missing
really
was a
liked it.
piece of shit.
No, it's the other one you liked with the lake.
Lake Mungo was amazing.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. You know, I hate. Oh, man. Megan's Missing was really bad. I might have to change my answer to Megan's Missing.
What was the other one though?
The other one was Antichrist.
You gave that a 1?
Yeah.
I would never guess that.
Yeah.
So we watched all these movies.
Uh
I'm
huh.
gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
I don't know how many movies total. Is it 100?
No, we're over 100.
Well, what is it counting overtimes and everything?
Uh, 100, and then we're at 36 overtimes, I think. But
So 136. How many smoke breaks? 3 now.
3 now. Yeah.
So 100 and almost 140 movies,
It
right?
would, yeah, it'd be like 142 because there was that one where we did the 2
Oh,
Halloweens in one.
so everything we watched,
Uh huh.
all 142.
Yeah.
What would you say has been your favorite movie for the podcast?
And this is not counting
Shit
movies
you
I
watched
didn't know.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it would have to be The Thing because I had
Really?
never seen it until we watched it for the cast. Yeah, it'd be The Thing. Um, yeah, it'd be The Thing. That'd be it. The Thing was really good.
So what
Well,
movie?
you know what? The Thing was really good. Another movie I didn't put it on my list of horror movies because it's not a horror movie, but I did give this one a 10. Shutter Island. Shutter Island's incredible too. Um, and I hadn't seen that since we started the podcast, but yeah. So The Thing or Shutter Island would probably be my answer.
What sorry, I'm just getting lost in all these movies we watched.
Mm-hmm.
What is your most surprising movie to date that you went into? You were like, "This is some shit," and then you watched it and you were like, "That was really good."
Um, I mean, I don't know if I went into it thinking this is shit, but I mean,
Or no opinion, rather, right?
yeah, but I mean, The Green Room came out of nowhere.
It did.
I mean, you
Pretty
just,
good.
I don't even remember how you picked it. It was some weird way you picked it. And then we watched it and it was like, holy shit. So that might be it. You want to know one that surprised me that I liked it as much as I did? The Omen. I had never watched
It's
it.
a crazy film, yeah.
I had never watched it, and it was like the 70s, and I got really, because Rosemary's Baby I thought was a sack of shit, and people really loved that movie, and when I watched it, I was like, I took a nap in the middle of it. Like, I paused it and took a nap and woke back up. So The Omen, I kind of went into it thinking that was going to happen, and I ended up really liking The Omen. I bought the Blu-ray, but you could only buy, like, the Omen trilogy, so I have the other 2 Omens that I haven't watched yet.
They get a lot better as Damien grows. They gets a
Yeah.
lot better. What was I gonna ask?
I don't know. Old surprised me. You didn't watch that one yet, though.
Trying to see what our least favorite video is.
Well, our least favorite video is fucking that video where we talked about aliens for like 15 minutes. um,
The grab bag did not do well.
no, it
$12
didn't.
wasted.
Yeah.
Oh, well, our least favorite video is Kane is into bondage.
Yeah, that one hasn't had time to grow yet, though.
And X is the same, but it's going well.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
another surprising thing, Tyler.
I think our worst video,
Uh huh.
based on a movie,
Yeah.
is "Come Play," which is
Yeah. Come
weird.
Play didn't do very good, which is weird considering like when we did that and that movie had just come out, and like it
Yeah,
kind of seems like a movie people would like, you know. But like watching the views on, you can't tell what I mean. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning is the number one, and then Antichrist has like 2,000 views or something. Like the
I mean, the beginning is number one, and then
number two is like Texas Chainsaw 3D or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I was really surprised at how much I like the Scream series.
Snakes on the Plane is fourth. What?
Hell yeah! Because I went into Scream not really thinking anything of it, but for the majority, there's only one of those movies I thought was bad. That was the fourth one, which is funny because I think I even had someone comment like, "This one's like the second best one." People really like that one. I don't care for it. What would you say, Tyler, was the most surprising movie for you?
Uh, that's a hard one because I don't get very surprised very
Yeah,
often. Um, I mean, Henry blew me away.
yeah,
And I remember being feeling really weird about it, but it is what it is. Um, Maybe Bag's very first pick, Fun and Games.
funny games. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of. You know what? I'm gonna take all that back.
okay,
I think Bubba Hotep is probably one of the best ones.
yeah.
And like y'all just didn't like it, and I don't. I
I
don't
think
understand it, but
Bags liked it. I remember I didn't like it at all, and then as time went on, I was like, I was really harsh to that movie. Let's see, Bubba Hotep. Jeez, that's really early on.
you're real early on.
Damn, don't do me like,
God,
don't do me like that. Um, ooh, who gave a 10 to this movie? What is this? Oh, Insidious. Tyler gave it a 10.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. See, staying true to my brand.
Bubba Hotep, you gave it a 7. Bags gave it a 4. I gave it a 1. Didn't deserve that one. We watched a lot worse movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it Halloween 3? Thomas gave it a 3. Maverick and Tyler gave it a 1.
Yeah, but what did we give four? Oh, it's not
Uh,
like that.
4 is the one that all of it. Yeah, I gave it a 6. Maverick gave it a 6. You gave it a 3. Bags gave it a 7.
Be honest. After the first one, I don't think I gave any of the Halloweens a very good rating.
Halloween 6 with Paul Rudd. You gave it an 8.
That's because I had Paul Rudd in it.
Yeah.
No, that's the good one where he kills all the scientists or
Yeah.
doctors.
And then that Halloween from 2018, you gave it an 8 as well. The Halloween with the Rob Zombie Halloweens, you gave the first one a 4, and then the second one a 0. That second one's real weird. But anyway, I guess I've answered my. Man, the thing is, the worst movie of the second year, Megan is Missing, was really bad, but it was only like an hour 10 minutes. Like if I remember, it was really short. Abraham Lincoln was like 2 hours long, and it just kept going.
Uh,
I don't know. I think I'll go with Abraham Lincoln. I think was the worst one for the year. Uh, and then my favorite one was like once again The Thing was year 2. That movie's amazing.
oh man, Valerie was last year.
Was I was surprised at how much I liked that Cloverfield movie as well.
I was surprised by how much I didn't like It Comes at Night.
Yeah, none of us liked it.
It's just
The tr-
surprising, you know.
the trailer for it was so cool, and they kept focusing on like that red door and shit, but it never followed up on anything. Yeah, ooh, all across the board. I gave it a 2.5. Maverick gave it a 3. You gave it a 1.
Oh man, I'm watching this and it's like the inaugural video, and you can't even say it.
Yeah, inaugural. Yeah, but
I'm watching some of these shorts, you know, when we almost got attacked by a wasp.
that was pretty wild.
Our first T-shirt.
See if that one's on there. If Bags, it should be titled like "I didn't check" or "Bags didn't check" or something.
Go through. Hold on.
Yeah,
Ew, it's
there's a playlist
chronological.
of them.
Yeah, but I'd have to watch 30 of them, right?
Yeah. Well, you
Event
should be able to
Horizon,
pick.
starring Lady Gaga. That is
Yeah,
it.
that was a good one.
Samuel's home again. No. Our shorts are great, guys. If you don't watch them, is it awkward silence?
No, that's when I like make a joke, I think, and everyone's like, "All right." Did you find it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean,
It was like that. See, that pin didn't pop off like that. I was like, "Did you look?" No.
it's
So, Eggs didn't check. Is the name of it.
here
The
we
old
go.
neck joke. What? Man, some of these shorts
And
blow
like
up.
that scene where she showed how she popped the pen open, that
God.
didn't fucking happen like that.
No, didn't at all. Did you go back to look?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty good. God, his little microphone that he bought. I really think because he had them like those AirPod bootlegs or whatever. I think we kept telling him it would probably just sound better if you use those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna listen.
No. God,
He
those
does think this
those
way.
early episodes were something. But yeah, the shorts. I will say Maverick's not here because I think he's drunk or passed out right now. One of those. But I will say, like we give that guy slack and stuff, you know, for his opinions on some of these movies and stuff. I do think he contributed one of the best things to the podcast, which is he convinced me to make those shorts. And I really think those shorts helped this channel grow. Like, a lot of those got a lot of views. And, yeah, specifically that one that we did on Cloverfield about, like, this movie didn't age well because of TJ Miller. And he's, like, trying to force himself on this lady and stuff. Or he keeps insisting that, like, she hang out with him. And but that one did really well. And so after the shorts, I feel like the channel really grew a lot. So I'll give props to Maverick. He won't listen to this at all, but I'll give some props to Maverick that, you know, for him convincing me to do the shorts. But yeah, I need to make more. I need to sit down and go through them. It's Memorial Day weekend when we're filming this. I got a couple days. I might go through and make some. But
Future Tyler here. He did not make it.
yeah. I got 2, I think, out of the Puppet Master 4 I can make. I'm gonna
remember. I film these things with you, and
yeah.
we do it with a little behind the scenes action here, guys.
Uh-huh.
We literally decide what we're watching after the podcast. We make plans. We then meet a week later and just talk about them. There's no script. There's no planning. There's no...
Yeah, the only thing for the Puppet Master one, we knew I was going to tase myself, and I brought the poppers for a surprise.
It was surprisingly shitty.
Yeah, so I think one of the shorts was the first popper, and we're just because you're like, that didn't do anything. It was like for a second. And then the other one, I'm going to try to get where it's me talking about, I'm going to tase myself. and then me doing the taser and being like, oh, and then at the end I do the where I'm like, oh, this stings a little, so I guess after your attackers are done raping you, they'll feel something, you know, and I'll try to fit that into a short, but anyway, yeah, the shorts are pretty good. I like them. I think that's about it. I think we're gonna head out of here. So this comes out June 5th.
Well, hold on. What's the plans for the new one or whatever?
What do you mean?
What's the new year gonna be?
I don't know. I don't know what you mean.
Well, I mean, just more movies. Any goals for this next year?
I don't know. I don't know if we could get. I really want to do like commentary tracks where we're watching the movie and we're like talking about it, but I'd have to work on some stuff to get that done.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing voiceover work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get a whole new mic setup and all this stuff. So I gotta get a laptop and all this. It's stuff that's going into it.
There's a couple things. There's a thing I don't remember. I think it's called like Audiodacity or whatever. That's like an audio record. Like, and that's what seems like most of the podcasts I listen to. And I thought about testing it where you and Maverick or whatever like use that to record, and then you can send me the recording. So maybe like, you know, because then you guys could buy your own microphones and it would sound, because it would be, you know, it wouldn't be coming through Discord. It would be through you guys, and you know there would be no, you know, let's say I hit a little lag thing and you guys are talking and it'll cut and then come back in or whatever. There would be none of that. But yeah, besides that, I don't know. I would say this year would be the year we try to get to where, you know, I have like a place where we can do them in person. And it might be, but I also have a job where I could be whisked away somewhere else, and so I don't know if that's a thing. But I don't know. I'd like to get more overtimes. I'd like to go through some series because I feel like we got through Texas, but you know we haven't. So like you said, there's Paranormal Activity. There's a whole bunch of those Conjuring ones. I feel like we need to jump into another. Oh, I remember. I wanted us to watch the Chucky movies because that TV show is about to come back for like season 2. So I thought we could go through those. But anyway,
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a bunch of stuff, and if I have my laptop set up for voice recording and all that jazz, I can literally go anywhere. You know,
good.
We film anywhere.
Yeah.
So
this episode will come out. All right. So this will be on a Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Oh, I wanted to tell you my idea. The other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before,
Okay.
I was like, I put a message in chat. I was like, I wonder how early I can bother Tom.
Yeah.
'Cause I had an ideal before I went to work.
Yeah.
And I know you were asleep, but you had a doctor's appointment or something. But I was like, I'm not going to message him. I was like, this is stupid. It could wait.
Yeah.
But, you know how we're talking about buying a warehouse?
Uh-huh.
Guys, we talk about a lot of shit, don't we?
We do.
What if we bought an old church?
Yeah.
Probably going to be half the price at least.
I don't know.
And then the whole...
Oh, man, we buy that church that I kept seeing on the side of the road that I wanted us to go into.
We could. Okay. And then, like, you just build rooms in the back.
Uh-huh.
And then just have a table in the middle of the thing.
And we're protected by God.
Or hated by, you know, however it goes.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that because I saw a warehouse. You went to a warehouse the day before.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's pretty nice. So maybe I could buy this place, blah, blah, blah. We were talking about, like, you know, dreams or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Aspirations, I guess. I don't know what you fucking call them. And We were talking about that, and then out of nowhere, I was like, "Hey, wait!" You know, like I just woke up and I didn't really look into it, but
Uh-huh.
I was like, maybe that's something. Because if we get a decent sized one that has other rooms and stuff, you can make bedrooms and shit, and we could just,
Yeah.
you know. But I think it'd be creepy as shit to film because most churches have graveyards attached,
Dude.
right?
Yeah.
So it'd
We
literally be
filmed the
graveyard
podcast at the
shift.
graveyard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we have that other show that I wish we could do somehow, where we wanted to like get
In the car.
in the car, and we would go out and watch the movie and stuff out in like the middle of
Well, that's what I
nowhere.
was thinking. If we buy like an old school dilapidated church and fix it up ourselves, which I
Uh-huh.
have the skills, Maverick can drive a truck anyway, so like doesn't really bring a lot. But you get it cheap, fix it up and everything,
Yeah.
and in the end, it'll probably cost more, but not as much more as getting a fitted out van or
Uh-huh.
whatever. So that's why I was like,
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can probably just go finance a van tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And we just do laptops until shit works.
Yeah.
Then we wouldn't need a PO box. We could just use our regular
Yeah.
address for everything.
Yeah.
If we had a church,
Yeah.
and we could name it something fucking ridiculous. I don't know.
I don't know. Trying to think of like a joke or a guy that we've been like the church of.
I mean, it could be. What was the name of the Nebuchadnezzar? Was that the name of the ship on Event Horizon?
Oh, what was it?
Nebuchadnezzar.
The like
don't know.
thing that I don't know. The church
No, that's
of
the name.
Church of
That's the-
Liberate.
That's the name of the ship from The Matrix.
Oh. Yeah, that's
I
different
don't
Lawrence
mess that up,
Fishburne. Yeah. All right.
All right, well, we'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around for a second year if you've been here. Most of you probably you've started in the second year because, like we said, the viewership is 6 times that it was on the first year. But yeah, we got some stuff we want to work on. Plenty of movies to watch. What will, I think Suspiria's out. Go check out us talking about Suspiria if you haven't already. Yeah, but shorts, all that jazz, gaming channel, everything in the description. One more for the road, Tyler. I'll pop another. Maybe this one. I'll hit myself and commit suicide. Oh. That hurt
Did it
more than a
hurt?
taser. So we should have just did that.
That's it. We're selling that self-defense tool now.
Oh my god.
Is it bad that I'm totally stoked about buying a church now?
No, man. You just ready to find God.
And smite him.
Yeah. God damn.
You know what we need to do? We need to do the same thing I did with my Twitch channel, is just create a business, an LLC, and then just start doing everything through it.
Yeah.
'Cause I think we could get business loans and stuff.
Yeah.
And we could finance it through there. That way, if it bombs, it ain't on
Yeah.
us,
How great would that have been if it turned out that thing had like it was like a what is it where it's like the gun thing can still kill you if you're close
Oh.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just like
Yeah, what they call it.
went into my fucking neck and I died on the 2nd year anniversary. That'd be pretty
I
cool.
know, guys. So, did you end the cast already or no?
No, it's still here. All right. All right. See you guys for whatever is coming up. And thanks for sticking around for the 2nd year. On to number 3, the best.
In case you're watching later, happy holidays.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It is a holiday, kind of.
Yeah. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Well,
No.
uh,